Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are,
KK Crochet.
and hopefully we're loud enough. It's hot. I don't even know how hot it is here, but it's hot, and so the fans are on. Air conditioners have not gone in yet, so it's either us talk louder and be able to breathe, or else. So we thought we would come today and just talk about a few of the things that we're doing and maybe going to do. So I yeah, I did something I said I wasn't going to do, and it wasn't buy yarn because I didn't say that, but I did buy some yarn. But I said in a video that was a tag by Shannon the Spinny Stitcher that that's a no, for me kind of thing. That I wasn't going to use thick yarn, and normally I don't, but plushies are so cute. And I always said, oh, I'll never do those again. I used to do them a long time ago. So I went to Joann's, and Joann's was having their sale, their clearance sale. And I thought, well, I actually went to Joann's for plushie yarn because I thought, well, it would be worth trying again if I didn't have to pay the prices for the yarn. And so that's what I did. I bought a few colors of plushie yarn for some things. I knew that I wanted to make for donations, and so I thought I would try again. And actually my arms and hands didn't hurt as bad this time. So this is a tutorial by Rose and Lily Crochet. It's not something I'll be doing a lot of, but every once in a while I wouldn't mind to make some cuties like this because they work up easy and they turn out so cute. So this is the duck. This little bill is, and I think the only thing I did different is they did, well, two things. They did say I think you were supposed to sew this around the top to the part up here and the bottom to the bottom, like open, and instead I just sewed it shut and sewed it on because it was just easier that way. And then these you were supposed to attach the yarn and then crochet up and go back down, and instead I just crocheted. I chained up 9 and then slip stitched back into, or single crocheted, I don't know, it doesn't matter, back into the first chain, and then I did 8 and chain and slip stitch back into it again, and just attached it and tied it off so it would attach. And then there's a tail that's the same way, and I just did 3 instead of 2. And I just thought that was better than trying to attach it and then crochet it. If I'd have thought and had I known ahead of time and looked at it, I would have probably done this while I was working it up. Went ahead and chained out and come back and did it and made it attached into the body. And the same for up here. I thought about that when I finished up here, but it didn't say anything about the feathers on top, so I didn't know. Okay, the eyes are a tutorial by Craftably Ever After, and I've done those a lot. They're embroidered instead of the safety eyes. I'm still working on mine, but they're coming along. I like them. So yep, that's his name. That's Quackers. No, I don't know what his name is, but this one I'm not sure if it will go to a friend or if it'll go for donation, but now I know I can make one, and have a couple other things I want to make like this. I'll probably make at least one more of these. Yeah, the grandbaby I think wants this one, but I don't know that she's gonna get it. So I think one of his arms, his wings turned out bigger than the other one. That's okay. It's probably stuffing. It's all right. So that's him. So then there was this yarn that my husband asked me to get. Y'all know this yarn, right? This loops and thread, and it looks really dull on here. Trust me, it is fluorescent yellow. I mean fluorescent yellow. It is like, yeah, doesn't do it justice. So I'd made a hat, and I had several other skeins left, and he said, you could make a blanket for me to put in my truck for wintertime, and I could put it in a bag, and that way if I got stuck somewhere, I'd have one. And so I did. I've started one, C to C, because y'all know. Now see, that kind of shows you. It's a bright, very, very bright, bright yellow. It's called, what is it called? Oh no, I can't remember. I don't know. But anyway, it's a loops and threads from Michaels. And so I started this today, and then I got so far, and he said, what would be neat? He said, what about the stripes that are on like firefighters and construction people, when they have their clothing on, they have safety clothing, and it has the reflective stripes. So I'm going to get a silver to put in between this. And actually on theirs it's silver, white, silver. And he said no, he just wanted a silver stripe to go through it to break it up. So I'm going to work on that. I used almost all of the rest of that skein I had from making a hat. So I've got some more in there I've got to get out and work on. And yeah, there is another video that we did not, let me see if I can find it. There was a video that we were supposed to be doing back in February, but we had already filmed for February and never quite got around to it. And then I honestly forgot about it, but I had on my phone I had made myself a message or a note that I needed to go back and do this one video. So it was a questions video, and I'm going to go back. It was a tag that we had from Lulu's Crochet with Lulu, and so I'm going to go back to that, and we're going to answer those questions. And I'm going to see if I can figure out. It says hashtag #WoolBoxFun, and that she was tagged by Christine as crocheting. Now I don't know who started this or anything, because like I said, it's been like 2 months since we were supposed to do it, or a month and almost 2 months. Anyway, we're going to do it now, and we're not tagging anybody because I don't know who's done it and who hasn't, who's been tagged and who hasn't. If you want to do it, do it. We'd love to hear. If you don't have a channel and you'd like to play along, okay, in the comments. So it's 12 questions. The first one: if you were maybe stranded for hours in a car in the middle of the world's biggest traffic jam, and you had your just in case wool or yarn and one set of needles, either straight or circular, or one hook, no pattern, no scissors, no tapestry needles, what would you knit or crochet?
A basic either hat or amigurumi that, like, basic, round and round, just like no-sew kind of thing.
I think it would depend for me on what I had with me. If it was a 4-weight yarn, of course it's going to be a hat because I can do all kinds of things and don't have to have a pattern. If it was cotton, I would be doing washcloths, which it's probably going to be acrylic, let's face it. So one hook, no pattern, and my hook of choice is probably going to be a J. So I can either do a hat or I can do a blanket or whatever. Number 2, what would you do if you didn't have your just in case yarn? What would you try to do instead? Run to Walmart and get some.
Walk to Walmart, yeah.
It's just stranded for hours in your car, so that's probably not going to happen. I have been in that situation before. When my granddaughter was born, we did not bring my stuff with me, and we were going to be staying there for a while. So I did go to Walmart and buy yarn. I did have a hook, though. Let's see. Did you teach anyone else to knit or crochet? I have tried and failed miserably, so I don't teach.
I've walked my sister-in-law through a couple things, like through the cincher and that kind of thing.
Okay. What would you make next if you had unlimited yarn?
You missed a question.
Oh, did I? Okay. What's the most rewarding part of knitting or crocheting?
Being able to gift somebody something unique just for them.
I agree. And seeing the finished product and people really appreciating the work that goes into it. What would you make next if you had unlimited yarn? An 80s blanket. Yep, neon colors.
A giant amigurumi. Like you see the people that make like life-size ones.
Giant. Oh no.
Yeah, huge.
More stuffies. Ah. What was your most difficult thing to learn with knitting or crochet? Knitting, I still cannot get the tension right, so I don't do it. Crochet, I think too, was learning about tension.
Tension or gauge. I just don't do gauge. I can't.
And you don't do a lot of wearables, so technically you don't have to. First thing you ever knitted or crocheted? Oh gosh.
First thing I ever knitted, it was like a 2-inch by 4-inch little rectangle, and I'm super proud of it. And I don't know, I think I just did a chain the first time for crocheting.
The first thing I ever knitted, I think, was a scarf. And I can't remember who it was for, but I know I gave it away, I'm pretty sure. And the first thing I ever crocheted, it was a chain, like consistently a chain. And I don't know what the first thing was that I actually made with crochet. It probably was a scarf too. I'm not sure. I know it wasn't a hat. That was a long time later. Strangest place you've knitted or crocheted? Hospital?
School. During the end of the year, we would have classes where they literally would do nothing, and I would bring yarn and hook and crocheting class.
What's your favorite thing to make?
Amigurumi or hats.
Me too. Well,
Blankets.
Blankets. I really like blankets. I know I said before I didn't, but I really enjoy them because they take no brain space. When I do C to C, I need no brain space whatsoever. And a lot of times that's what I need. A, to cleanse the palette after you've worked on something more difficult. And B, I just enjoy not having to look at a pattern. I really do. And still seeing something beautiful come to life and have something I can work on without thinking about this, that, and the other. You know, I don't want to have to go through and always look at a pattern, and I just really enjoy not having to. And that, for that reason, it's hats and blankets and even amigurumi to a point. I can pretty much do one without a pattern. Now, is it going to be look like ABC whatever? No, it's going to be whatever I made up from whatever I've had in my head through all the patterns I've made, but it's still going to be something that I enjoy. So I really enjoy those patterns that I don't have to look at. You know, I don't have to look at a pattern. The items I can just make without thinking. And that's kind of how I started too. I mean, you learn a stitch and you make a scarf and you make, you know, whatever. And so those kind of things bring me great joy. Favorite yarn or wool? I'm allergic to wool. So my favorite yarn at the moment, believe it or not, listen, because I know y'all are going to say Red Heart, and it's not. I actually am torn now between Premier and Loops and Threads, because the Loops and Threads I'm using is so soft, and the Premier is super soft, Premier Basics, and it is so many beautiful colors.
I really like Premier. I bought some recently, and I really like it.
We're a little spoiled now. Where's your favorite place to buy yarn or wool? Well, I think the new place is going to be Premier, since Joann's, we all know, you know, what's going on with them. And I never did a lot of shopping there anyway, not for yarn. Now, I did buy some yarn there, but a lot of times when we shopped at Joann's, it was for multi-crafting purposes, for other things we use, like safety eyes and paint, or
I've bought sewing supplies, knitting,
jewelry making supplies, cross stitch, whatever. It was a number of things that we would buy there. Hobby Lobby's also one of my favorite places, but I think I'm probably going to switch to Premier because it's easy and it can be shipped. Is there anything about crochet that completely stumps you?
I would say no, because you can learn anything. You just need to put work into it.
I normally probably would have said no too until the past month. And I'm going to say this, and I won't tell what the pattern is because it's a Christmas extravaganza pattern. But I found a pattern that stumped me. And so I have learned that just because you've crocheted for years doesn't mean you're always going to understand what is in the other person's head. And so a designer can design something and you can read it and not understand it because it's written a different way. Like 9 times out of 10 patterns are written a certain way. But then sometimes you can go back and find a new designer or a designer new to you that wrote something completely different than you're used to it. And when you look at it, you're like, I don't get that. And so today I actually sent a free pattern to Kelly at Crochet Moth for Life. And I said, I'm doing this for Christmas extravaganza. Would you please look at this pattern and tell me what I'm doing wrong? Because I don't understand these last 2 lines. And I've done this kind of thing for years. And so probably 42 years or something like that. So she looked at it and I looked at it again. And when I reread it again after I've stepped back, it's been probably a month since I've done the pattern. Maybe 2 weeks. Once I stepped back from it and went back and looked, I think I understand what the designer was trying to say now. But in the moment when I was doing it, it went, because it was different from the way I've learned to read a pattern. So on the last two lines, guess what I did? I made it up. I did it the best way I knew how, made the numbers work out, and did it my way because I did not understand what she was saying. I think now if I went back, I would be able to redo it. So I think that's the most difficult thing for me, is that sometimes you get a designer who is different in how they do things, and you have to give yourself permission, number one, to do it your way. Like I know there are some designers that do a chain one at the beginning of every round for amigurumi. Some of us don't do that because it gives a more seamless product in the end if you don't do that. So you have to come to realize that those patterns are very valuable, but you can change it. You can change that one little piece is not going to make a difference except to you. In the grand scheme of things, it's still that person's pattern. You can take that part out and complete the pattern the way you normally do without a chain one and go on. So those are the kind of things that sometimes, not very often, but sometimes throw me for a loop. And that's probably the first time that had happened in several years. And when I looked at the pattern, I thought, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And it was a mix up in the repeats for me that I didn't understand what she was saying. But I think now I get it. And even if I don't, I did it my way. So it's okay. That's all there is. So I am going to put this up here and tag Lulu, and then she can tell us who originated the video, because like I said, it has been, goodness, February 1st since we were tagged. So I don't know when you'll see this. It might be April. So we'll put a copy of the questions, I will try, down below in the comment section or the description box. So if you want to do this, go ahead and do it and jump on board. We always enjoy these. So if you all find a tag, have a tag, see a tag, tag us in it. We would be happy to do them. We always enjoy doing them. And yeah, anything else to say?
No.
I think that's all for this video. I will say we have a couple of other things that'll be coming out. I don't know when you'll see this and in what order you will see them in, but we do have a challenge that's coming out in April. And those of you who've been with us know what that challenge is already, I'm sure. And then we have a new series that's going to start, and it is going to be learning to read a pattern. And I've had so many friends who have said they're struggling to read a pattern. They don't know how to read a pattern. And so I am by no means an expert, but I do think there are some things that we can talk about that will make learning to read a pattern less scary. The same way we talked about doing a hexicardie and walk through part of it, which, by the way, no, I'm not done with mine. I've done one for the baby. Kristen has hers partially done. I have both sides of mine done, and yes, I need to start it again. It's been a hectic week here, and I meant to get started this week, and I have not. I also need to work on Christmas extravaganza things. I am about a fifth of the way through, and so we need to work on that. And that's in 3 months, so I have April, May, June to do that. But normally we like to do April, May, and film in June, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I need to hop on that. So, yeah, that's where we stand for today. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. Unless you want to tell your news.
I can. I'm going to start working at a daycare near me to get experience with children. So I'll be working there this summer.
So she'll be leaving her Dairy Queen position. She won't be a DQ girl anymore. And this summer she'll go to work at the daycare and get experience with that. And she's also got some other stuff coming up next year as she starts on into school. She finishes school in May, which will give her all of her freshman hours and halfway through her sophomore year. And her first set of clinicals done, which is in school on the job training. So, yeah, she's moving right along. And we appreciate all the support and cheering her on. And she's super excited to get her feet wet and jump in to daycare and working with kids. She'll be working with school-age children, and so that'll be right up her alley. So pretty excited. She found that out today. So we're excited for her, and we're excited to be back Even if there are, times that we don't quite get the videos out, it is what it is. This week slipped by us before we even realized we didn't have one out. So we're going to put this one out, and then there'll be a couple others that will come out over next week probably. And thank you everybody who sent in pictures of your Hexicardies. We have uploaded a video, I think, that has all of the ones that have been submitted so far this quarter, so January through March. If you submitted one and it's not on there, even if you saw it in a past video and you don't see it on this one, let me know, because this is a compilation of the whole January through March. So I'm not sure I'll do all of them like that throughout the year, but I wanted to go back since we've been gone for a while and showcase all of them again. Other than that, if you have a Hexicardie and you haven't sent a picture, please do so. If you want to jump on the Hexicardie Party 2025 bus, come on. You've got till December to do that. We're just doing them all year long. And I know it's getting ready to be summer and nobody wants to work on a sweater during the summer. I do. I don't care. It doesn't bother me because I turn the air on. It makes no difference. But if you don't want to and you want to pick it back up in the fall, that's fine too. And yeah, I think that's all that's going on right now. Not a whole lot of progress on anything, but you know what? For me, it's been a lot of progress because my Crojo went MIA. And so to be able to do anything this month or this past week, to me, I got the duck done. I started the blanket. I have a blanket that I'm going to start for my granddaughter for Christmas. And yeah, to me that's progress because the whole month of February, I had another hat I did too, but for the life of me, I don't know where it's at. I'm pretty sure it's on the community tab, and I know it's in the Facebook group. Because, let me see, we have been working on Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach hats, and so far to date, where's it at? We have 20 done, which, which puts us behind our allotted amount that we would need for the goal that we set. So it's time for me to get busy making more hats. Anyway, we hope you have a great day, and don't forget to be kind because
you don't know anybody else's journey.
Bye.